Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to share the new Rabbit Hole Designs release with you. We've got the caffeinated critters here. There's 3 new critters. So I love this line. It's super fun. So we've got this caffeinated bear, and I love how these images are drawn. Usually their hair is all ruffled up. They've got these big eyes, and they've got a cup of coffee. They've got robes on, slippers. It's just really, really cute and fun. And this sentiment that goes with him says, barely conscious before caffeine, and hashtag barely awake. So I just love it. I did a card with this. My mom and I played with this stamp set yesterday, and we had a lot of fun coloring it. So I'll share the cards with you. And also I'll share a technique coloring the eyes, and I'll also share a background. So we'll do a background together with him. So we've also got the caffeinated goat, which is so cute. And look at his robe. He's got little grass patches on his robe. And then his hair is all like ruffled up. His sentiment says, caffeine releases my inner kid. And hashtag meh, meh. And there's his cup of coffee. So cute. Now, I have a design team member, Renee, who is Delaney Jane Cards. She is going to be working with this stamp set in February. And I seen the card that she created, and I just got so inspired that I had to do bloodshot eyes on these guys. So she made bloodshot eyes on the goat, and I thought it was brilliant, and it just looked so cool. So I did that on my card as well, and I'll show you what colors I used and how I did it. So thank you, Renee, for the inspiration on that. I really love it. So make sure you guys are following the new design team. They are just knocking it out of the park with all these cards that they are doing. Just so much inspiration there. I'll link below in my description box a link to the video where I share all the links to the design team in case you missed that, and go ahead and subscribe to them. We're going to be doing a design team hop in probably late February or very early March for the new Not Too Shabby release. So we're going to be coming out with 4 new stamps. So be on the lookout for that. We've got Caffeinated Dragon, and this one's a little bit bigger. So these are only $6.99 each, which is a great price point. And then this one's a little bit more because it is a bigger stamp. And look how cool he is. So he's got his coffee and he's resting it on his belly. And then his little wings are all ruffled up. And his sentiments read, hashtag dragon, as in dragon my butt, and hashtag magical elixir. So super fun. So here's the card I created. And I did this one with my Prisma colored pencils. And I added some glossy accents to his eyeballs there, his nose, his cup, and the little noses on the little bunny slippers. So look at the little eyes, bloodshot red. And then I've stamped my sentiments here, did a little shadow down at the bottom with my colored pencils. I did a little gray shadow around him with the color pencils, and then I used this mask here, just cut it out, laid it on top, and did some blending with some distress inks very lightly with a blue. So I want it to look clean and simple. I add a little heart on there from those doodle bug shape sprinkles. These are like really nice to have in your stash when you want to just add a little heart to your projects. And then I'll have a photo of my mom's card right there for you to see. And she did the same thing. She used my Prismacolor pencils. She made the little bloodshot eyes. And she inked her background a lot more with the distress inks. And she had a lot of fun making that card. So then I wanted to make another one with Copic markers because I'm just more comfortable using my Copic markers. And this time I made this one into a black bear, and I gave his eyes a teal color to match his little cup there, and a red robe. And I did a little bit of dotting to make the little trim on his robe look like fur or a little fluffy, and like the way that came out. And the same I did with this one with the pencils, kind of to represent white fur. So for this one I wanted to do a little scene for you guys, make a little cave in the background. So we're going to do that with Copic markers. But first I'll share how I did the eyes. So I stamped him out on Nina Solar White paper here. And these are the colors that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use a color pencil at the end to make little veins in his eyes. So I have a picture up here of all the colors that I used to color this guy up. So for the eyes, we can color his little pupils either black or give it a color. You can also do a color, just swipe a color right underneath his pupil if you wanted a colored iris, because there's plenty of space in that eye to do so. But for this one, I'm just going to do a dark gray. So I'll just do a C8 and just color his pupils in black. I'm going to zoom in so you can get a better look what I'm doing. And I'm going to start with the lightest R20, and I'm going to leave some white space, so don't cover the whole eye. I start on the ends of each side of the eye, and I'm just flicking inward, leaving white space. And then I'm going to go with the R22, and I'm just going to go in the corners. And we can blend that out with the R20. Okay, try to remember to leave that white space. And then very sparingly with this R14, I'm just going to put that in the very corner. And then I'm going to take my Zero colorless blender to just blend these colors to fade into that white space. So it's kind of like I'm erasing the color. It's just fading back a little bit. And then I'll go back in with the R20 and just put a little bit more of that pink color in the corner. Okay, and now to make the little veins, I use the very sharp pencil. And I'm just going to, you could do it from either the bottom or the top, however you're comfortable, and just do some squiggly lines just in the corners where it's pink. So that's all there is to it, and it looks a lot better when the whole image is colored up. So I think it makes these images really fun. Thanks, Renee, for the inspiration. So let's color up the background on this guy. So what I want to do is I'm going to Google bear caves. Okay, so I found this image here. And see the rocks? I just want to make some outlines of rocks, just so it looks like he's coming out of his cave with his coffee. So I'm going to put this to the side so I can see it. Get some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to take my grays, and I don't want to use just gray, so I'm going to add maybe the skin tone in there because I don't want the cave color to be the same color as the bear, and then he won't pop out. So I'm going to use grays, but I'm also going to use like this color here to give it like a brownish color. So I'm going to map it out with my lightest, which is the W0. And this is giving a little bit of glare, so I'm going to pop it up over here so I can see. So I am just going to make some rocks, and I want the cave to go off the page. So I'm just going to do just some wiggly lines, rock lines. There's just random boulders that I'm making here. Okay, so I'm going to leave a floor right here, so that's as far as I'm going to go. Okay, so we got an opening. We'll do a little floor here. So now I'm just going to go and shade in my rocks. I'll get my W3. So we could make some, I don't know, different indentions in here. I've never done this before. I'm just winging it. Make some darker areas. Make some bumps. I'm going to work on one side and then do the other side. That way my ink will stay wet longer. So let's blend it out with the W1. Make some more texture, bumps. Go over the lines and kind of blend out that line. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit of music here. So this video isn't too long. You'll see the time lapse coloring of this, and I'll meet you back on the other side. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, I think that looks starting to look cool. You gotta go back and forth with your colors. So let's do the other side now. I wonder if the other side's gonna turn out different. Maybe I should have done the whole thing at once. Okay, now I've got all my little rocks colored up. So on the inside, I want to make this darker, like it's shadowed dark inside, and then we can do the little ground coming out. So we'll pick a color kind of contrasts with the rocks so everything's not the same. I grabbed some yellows and browns. So we will start with some of the yellow tone in there. So I'm just going to outline where I want my ground. So I'm going to soften up that line there. I don't want it to look too yellow. I'll start adding my browns. Oh, and looks like this color is gone. I'm going to need to refill this E31. So let's see what I have. Maybe we could do E43. I'm going to need something that's will mix those two better. Maybe the E0s or the E00. And I will just have the darkest part of the brown closest to the bear here. So feel free to use any color combination you want for your floor. Obviously I didn't pick that many colors that went together here. I'm just trying to make it work. That's why I'm going back and forth with the colors, trying to get them to blend better. Let's see if I have an E40. Let's see what this E53 looks like. Now what I'm going to do to fix this is add some texture. So let me add a shadow first underneath my little guy. So I'm going to use a little bit of a darker brown here. So I'll do the E33 and make a little shadow. So we'll put the shadow this way under his feet there. And then I will go ahead and blend that out. Let's see, use an E11. And then my E00. That E00 was too light. It was kind of bleaching out the shadow. Okay, so now what I want to do is create the texture. I'll take my E33 and just create little pebbles. So I'm just going to do little dots everywhere. And then I'll soften those out with a lighter color. Here's my E30. Okay, for the inside, I want to make that cave dark. So let's find some colors. So if I add this grayish lavender with my grays, I think that will give it a different tone. So I'm going to do W7 darkest. We're going to do dark all the way around. And then I'm going to, so there's going to be the big dark shadow in this corner here. It's time to refill my markers. Okay, I'm going to do the BV23. So there is my cave. I think it came out pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of like that. So I'm going to add my sentiment with a sentiment strip. Let's go ahead and add this to a A2 size folding card base. Maybe I'll add some white highlights to the rocks. Okay, so I decided to emboss my sentiment with white embossing powder, and I'm just going to add that to the edge here of the card. Make sure that it's straight. So that will complete my card. Barely awake, this guy is. So that was a fun card. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will have the stamp listed down below, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye guys.